Hello and welcome to the Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Minnesota. That's strivescan.com/Minnesota. I'd now like to turn over to our first presenter, Anoka Ramsey Community College.
All right, hi everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining our session tonight here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get my slides ready to go. All right, we are set to go. So my name is Anna and I am an admissions and academic advisor at Anoka Ramsey Community College. So jumping right into it, we have a lot of ground to cover in 6 minutes. And we are going to cover a wide range of things from our admission steps to our student services to degree options. So besides just myself, we have a whole team of admission staff ready and waiting for you, responding to your phone calls, emails, and we are available on campus as well for those in-person tours or remote phone or Zoom appointments. So talking right away about where we are and who we are. Anoka Ramsey is a community college, part of the Minnesota State Universities and Colleges system. We are one of the 30 community and technical colleges in that system. We have 2 campuses, one in Coon Rapids and one in Cambridge. Our campuses are centrally located in both cities, and they're each next to a river, the Mississippi River and the Rum River. So talking about a community college, we are a very open door institution. We serve the community that is around us, and with that, our application, we'll talk about on the next slide, is a free application. Our second step after applying is meeting placement for core subjects, English and math. And then finally, we have new student orientation. So when you apply to us as a community college, we do not require essays or have a certain GPA or test score requirement. Again, as an open door institution, we serve the community around us. And when you apply, we are here to respond to you, to walk you through your next steps. After that, as I mentioned, our core subjects for English and math, we will have students work through our course placement evaluation request. This looks at a variety of factors and not just limited to GPA. We want to make sure that we are working with you for the appropriate level of math and English subjects. And then finally, as part of the new student process, we have an orientation session that will tell you more about being a student at Anoka Ramsey, as well as assign you to a specific advisor. Every student is assigned to an advisor to work with, and you would meet with that advisor to register for one-on-one assistance for the upcoming semester. So looking ahead, with all of that in mind, as an open door institution, we have a rolling deadline to get started. So for fall semester, I recommend to apply by January before that fall. However, we don't have a cutoff. But if you apply by January, we'll have you in our system and on our email reminder list. And with that, orientation starts in early spring, and then classes would start in August. For a spring semester start, we recommend to apply around October or by then, since we start orientation in early fall and classes start early January. As with any college, we all recommend completing that free application for federal student aid. It is currently open right now for the upcoming school year next fall. And we also encourage students to apply for an Anoka Ramsey scholarship. Our scholarship application is open during the month of April for that coming year. And then we also have a spring application round for those of you starting in a spring semester. All right, so talking about tuition and fees. Full-time student cost, you can be part-time, you can be full-time. We have roughly half of our student population that's part-time or full-time in each category. And that tuition and fees will range from about $5,500 to $6,500 for the entire year. Again, if you're part-time, that will look a little bit different. With this in mind, a lot of our general education classes now include the textbook materials, whether that be through an online textbook built into the course fees or through open educational resources provided by your instructors. There are a variety of student services available while you're a student at Anoka Ramsey, and some of them we encourage you to check out even during the admissions process. Admissions advisors are here to help you navigate those and recommend what would be useful for you to check out before you start classes. We also have a vibrant student life and student activity opportunities on campus and online. With a community college, we'd like to promote students still getting integrated and involved on campus, even though you're not in traditional university setting. We want to set that up now, since those will carry over when you transfer to a university to also be involved there. And talking just a little bit about our degrees, I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg here. We are partnered with our Minnesota State University partners to offer Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degrees that transfer seamlessly to those Minnesota State universities. Of course, our degrees will also transfer outside of this Minnesota State system, but I do like to highlight our transfer pathways working within those universities. Last but not least, we have career counselors available as well for you to meet with if you're feeling a bit undecided or not sure where to start as you navigate things at Anoka Ramsey Community College. So thanks for listening about Anoka Ramsey Community College, and we hope to see you on campus or in an online appointment soon.
Thank you so much. And just a reminder to all of our participants that you can use that Q&A function to ask questions of any of our schools at any time. Up next, we have Montana State University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Caleb Chambers, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Montana State. Let me get my slides set up real quick, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about us. All right. Cool. Okay, so Montana State University is located in Bozeman, Montana. We're in the southwest portion of the state. Something that's really special about us is we have a ton of outdoor opportunities at MSU. We're about 90 miles from Yellowstone National Park, as well as we have a couple of really great ski mountains close to us. And so something about that too is we're a very outdoorsy and a very tight-knit community. We're a town of about 60,000 people. So we have that perfect balance of like large town amenities with a small town community. For Montana State University specifically, we have 16,841 students enrolled. About 50% of our students come from out of state and 50% are from in-state. So we are the largest university in the state of Montana, but about a mid-sized university nationally. And if you're hearing that, and maybe that sounds like a lot of people to you to kind of like get around, we do have over 300 clubs and organizations on campus that range from outdoor recreation to like fraternity and sorority life, identity-based groups. There's a sandwich making club on campus where people get together and make sandwiches twice a month. So there's really a club for everything. We really want to help students as soon as they get to campus get involved with their peers. We are also a D1 athletic school, and students get free tickets to all of our athletic events, like our football games, basketball games, and stuff like that. In terms of what you can study at Montana State, we have over 250 academic programs. And in this list here, I have all of our colleges at MSU. We don't have time to go through all those majors, but there's a ton of different varieties of what you can do at MSU in terms of what you'd like to study. And no matter what you study at Montana State University, you'll have access to research in your undergraduate degree. So we are in the top ranking of research universities in the country. And every student, like I said, as soon as your freshman year, you can be doing research. And for us, that's really important because we want to make sure that you have hands-on and practical knowledge of your field before you graduate. So you get to take that academic knowledge and really apply it in whatever you're passionate about. In terms of our admissions requirements, so we do also have a rolling admissions. We don't have any hard deadlines. However, we do suggest that students apply in the fall, fall before the semester they want to attend. If they want to start in the fall, and same goes for spring. We do have a $38 admission fee, but we don't require any essays or transcripts or letters of recommendation. And also, once you apply, you'll hear back from us usually within 2 weeks. And in terms of what you need in order to be admitted, we either need you to have a 2.5 cumulative GPA or be in the top half of your class. And I have our standardized test score benchmarks there, but we are also now test optional for admission and for scholarships. And speaking of scholarships, we have several scholarship opportunities available to students. For those of you in Minnesota, we have what is our Achievement Award, which there's no application for that. It's automatically awarded based on the GPA you self-report in your application. And those range, from $2,000 to $15,000 a year. And like the school before me said, we also highly recommend applying for FAFSA and looking for local scholarships in your town as well. But yeah, so you've applied to Montana State and you're admitted. The next steps in order to attend are to send in a housing application, sign up for orientation, and then send us your high school transcript once you graduate. And like I said, we don't require any formal commitment at MSU, so we don't need any commitment letters or anything like that. You just fill out those steps and you're ready to go. And here is my contact information. Like I said, I'm an admissions counselor here, so if you have any questions about the school or how to apply or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Again, a great reminder, you can put your Q&A in that Q&A function if you have any questions for our schools, and all of our schools will also put their contact information in the chat for you. Up next, we have Bethany Lutheran College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ben from Bethany Lutheran College. Thanks for tuning in and listening today. I've got some screens to share with you as well, or slides rather. So Bethany Lutheran College is located in southern Minnesota in the town of Mankato. We're about 80 miles or about an hour and 20 minutes southwest of the Twin Cities. So not too far from the Twin Cities as well as other major areas. Bethany has 25 plus majors for you to choose from. We are a 4-year private college. We have 17 different NCAA Division III athletic teams to choose from. 45% of all of our students are involved in at least one sport. So athletics is important to our students and to our campus. We also have a great fine arts department that has a great reputation throughout Minnesota and Mankato. Lots of students come to Bethany for band, choir, art, theater, and so on. Just like all the other colleges that you're hearing from today or even after today, we have lots of activities on campus. There's something for everybody. If you're not into fine arts or maybe not into sports, we have a juggling club to cross-terrain outdoors club. We have an esports team, and we just started a clay target team last spring. So we are always looking to add new teams, new activities, to keep you busy when you're not in class. Bethany is what's called a liberal arts college. Not a whole lot of people quite understand what that means. So liberal arts just means that we have a wide array of different classes that we offer and that we ask you to take, especially that freshman, sophomore year, because they make you a well-rounded student, and they can also help you decide your career path if you come into college undecided, which a lot of freshmen do. So we have a whole range of classes, but also experiences as well. We put a high amount of value into that experience side of college. The unusual picture that you're seeing on the screen right now is a picture we like to use in admissions to kind of highlight what we're talking about with liberal arts and getting a diverse sort of education and experience. This is a picture from one of our theater performances called Theater Physics, which is a student written, student directed, and student acted theater performance. So students do all the work, provide all the talent. It's very skit based and meant to be humorous. As you can imagine, the audience was about rolling on the floor laughing at this skit. as some students attempted to eat popcorn in those dinosaur costumes. I mentioned esports a little while ago. That's one of our fastest growing activities or levels of interest on campus. We're only in our third year of having an esports team, but our League of Legends team in particular got third place in the nation among college teams last year. The guy that you see on the screen here has helped that program immensely. He is an alum from several years back, and he is a professional play-by-play broadcaster for esports divisions, if you will. So he is probably our most famous alumni, or at least most famous recent alumni in the last 15 years. But he is working in esports. To go backwards to my previous topic, liberal arts, he is also a classic example of that. When he graduated from Bethany back in like 2007, I think it was, esports wasn't really a thing. You certainly couldn't get a job or a career working in esports, but this guy here did it. So his Bethany experience, his Bethany liberal arts education helped prepare him to not only get, but be very successful in a career that didn't exist when he was initially in college. So that's really kind of what the liberal arts can do for you as a student, helps you get jobs that maybe don't even exist yet. Bethany has a great track record of students being successful, whether you're going into something like esports or maybe a little bit more traditional career path, such as business or something like that. But we have a great track record. Students are graduating in 4 years or less. About 80% of the time, students are getting into their career path or getting into graduate school very quickly after they leave Bethany. I should also mention Bethany is very affordable as well. One, I think, common tendency of students looking at colleges is that they let cost be a big factor and maybe make them a little nervous or shy away from certain schools. Don't let cost turn you away from any school, whether that's Bethany or somewhere else. Bethany's average financial aid package is worth over $20,000 a year, whether you're a top student, an average student, somewhere in between. We have lots of scholarships and great financial aid available. So very affordable, lots of different things for you to do, and we help you be successful while you're at Bethany as a student, but also once you leave as well. Got a short video and then I will wrap up.
And there's no sound. When you share your screen, you may have to enable the computer sound on that if you want to try to reshare it.
Yep, let me see if I can fix that.
Remains as strong as our beliefs, as strong as our foundation. A place where the spiritual world is as critical as the intellectual. Where your faith is fed and your relationship with your Savior is fueled. A place where friendships that last beyond this campus begin. And the possibilities to do anything, be anything, are within reach. Because at Bethany Lutheran College, you are not just one of thousands. You're a name, you're a face, someone to be remembered. Bethany will help you answer the question you've been asked since you were young. What do you want to be when you grow up? The answer has changed over the years, but here you are, grown up, ready to discover the answer. And here, the answers are endless, with an education that encourages you to try it all. You'll discover what you love, the thing that ignites you, that drives you to do more, to be more. But don't worry, you don't have to get there alone. Experienced educators will help guide you on your way to a career that fits you, to a place where you'll discover new things, to a path where you'll leave your mark. Let Bethany Lutheran College be your start.
All right, thanks for listening. Here's my email if you want to contact me. If you're a senior, highly encourage you to apply. Our application is free and can be done as little as 15 minutes. And we also have campus visits going on in person all the time. So give us a look if you want to come for a tour.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Up next, we have the University of Winnipeg.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, well, I am very excited to speak to you today. My name is Gina Borges, and I am a recruitment officer at the University of Winnipeg, just north of the border. I have many friends in the Twin Cities, actually. So I know from experience, we're about a 7-hour drive from the Twin Cities. So if you're looking for an international experience, but still be close enough to drive home for Thanksgiving, we may be a great option for you. So the University of Winnipeg offers 3- and 4-year degrees. We have direct entry, which means you can start in your faculty of interest right away. However, you can also take classes across faculties. So if you're not sure exactly where your interest may lie, we not only offer the opportunity to take classes across faculties, we encourage it. So you can certainly do that. We offer 50+ programs in the faculties of science, arts, humanities, business and economics, and kinesiology. We have a student population of approximately 10,000. So we are a mid-sized school, 1,500 of which are international students from 90+ countries. And we have a graduation employment rate of 95.9% within 2 years of graduation. And the average student to professor ratio as an alumni of the University of Winnipeg myself, I cannot tell you how much value I placed on the smaller classrooms. So it's about a 25-to-1 professor to student ratio. The fact that my professors from year one knew my name was just a great thing. And I knew that I could then seek their assistance throughout my post-secondary studies. We are one of Canada's most affordable public universities. And as a Minnesota resident, you would be able to take advantage of the reciprocity agreement. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So our admission requirements are completion of grade 12 with a minimum C+ average among your grade 12 academic courses. We do not require SATs, ACTs, or personal statements. If you have dual credit courses, they may be eligible for transfer credit as well. So they would go toward your degree. We're looking for a C+ or better in those dual credit courses. We also accept IB and AP transfer credit. So if you're doing the IB or AP streams, there are also scholarships available for that and for individual IB and AP credits. So here we are with the Minnesota Reciprocity Agreement. Just when you apply online, you would also submit a copy of your driver's license or anything that would be proof of your Minnesota residency so that you pay domestic student rates. A full year for domestic students with books and tuition, everything really except for housing is approximately $5,000 USD. So it is definitely an affordable option. We have scholarships for our international students with the President's Scholarship for World Leaders valued at $5,000, and also the AP and IB scholarships that I had mentioned. And in your second, third, and fourth year of studies, we have in-course awards values up to $10,000. So for example, if you're taking a biology class and you're doing really well, you may be eligible for scholarship, for a biology scholarship, for example. So lots of free money sitting there waiting to be given to you. So how to apply? It is a very simple process. You just go to uwinnipeg.ca/apply, submit your online application, pay the 120 Canadian, which I think is approximately $90 American right now. And we'll just request that you submit your high school transcript, or I guess like at the time that you apply, you won't have your final grades, but even your interim grades. I know it says language tests there, but that's not for our American students. That would be for other countries. And you can check on your application status at any point. And we do typically get back to you within 2 weeks as well, once you've completed your application. We do have on-campus living options as well. It is not obligatory that you live on campus, but it is definitely convenient and affordable. All rooms are single private rooms. They come with meal plans and also then shared common spaces such as living room, kitchen, bathrooms. And they're all about a 2 to 5 minute walk to campus. So if you are interested in campus living, then you can apply for that as well after you've applied for your admission. We have 55 plus student groups on campus that are either academically based, such as BASA, the Business Administration Student Association, but there's also social groups and identity groups as well. There's the radio station, CKUW, which is a campus radio station, the campus newspaper, the Uniter, our bike lab. So if you're a cyclist, you can come and get your bike tuned up. It's a very vibrant campus with a lot of activity, a lot of opportunity to broaden your post-secondary experience, because life as a university student is not just about academics. So thank you for listening. If you're interested in coming out and seeing a Winnipeg Jets versus Minnesota Wild Jets game, come across the border to the University of Winnipeg and email me at g.borges@uwinnipeg.ca. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And a reminder to our participants, we still have time for some Q&A. So if you have questions for any of our schools here today, please put them in that Q&A function. Last but not least, we have the University of Minnesota Duluth.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Asher. I use he and him pronouns, and I am one of our admission counselors at the University of Minnesota Duluth. One of the biggest reasons, if you're from Minnesota, you may know this. If not, I'll let you know right now. But one of the biggest reasons students choose University of Minnesota Duluth is because of our amazing location. We're right next to Lake Superior, in case you didn't know. And our campus kind of overlooks our hillside neighborhoods as well as the lake, kind of right there in the distance. We are up on top of the hill overlooking the lake, so there's some beautiful views on our campus, but we are about 7 minutes from the actual water. I like to say that 7 minutes is rolling down the hill, not coming up the hill. I recommend having some kind of motor or tires or something coming up the hill, because it is quite the hike. But regardless, there's a lot of beautiful places to go and visit in Duluth, whether it's in the outdoors or downtown, in our local kind of food scene and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the things that people are looking for in their experience at the University of Minnesota Duluth, is kind of that intersection of, you know, having your college experience in your classes, and I'll get to all of that in a second, but also picking the location that you're living in for 4 years. You know, you're not just picking a college for 4 years, but you're also picking a community to belong in a place to explore for 4 years as well. So along with all of the different trails or mountain biking or surfing or skiing or whatever you're doing on the lake, there's also a lot of great local businesses to be, you know, getting familiar with and visiting. And I really like going to our Lincoln Park Craft District, which is over in the western neighborhoods of Duluth. And there's a lot of great restaurants down over there. Downtown, we also have a newly renovated performing arts center. There's a lot of great music and theater and improv going on in our community. So Duluth is just a beautiful place to be. Now, obviously, when talking about colleges, it's important to look into your academics, right? Like, that's the #1 reason we're choosing a college, besides the amazing area that you're going to be moving to and experiencing. So here at University of Minnesota Duluth, we have 4 major areas of collegiate study: education and human service professions, our arts, humanities, and social sciences, our business and economics, and our College of Science and Engineering. All of these are pretty evenly stacked, right? So it's not like one college is like overwhelmingly, you know, what everybody is in here at UMD. So we have a lot of great areas of study and a lot of great areas of like cross study as well. So whether you want to have a major in one of these collegiate units, like maybe you're thinking, something in engineering, but you also really love music, or you really love, or maybe you're looking forward to making your own business someday or something like that. Like, no matter what different areas you're interested in, it is very easy to find your major area of study, find a minor area of study. Or if you're like me and can't decide, I chose 2 majors and a certificate when I was a student here at UMD. I was in our College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, and I studied communication, cultural entrepreneurship, and then I also have a certificate of business administration. So it's definitely possible to kind of figure it out as you go and be undeclared and really kind of use some of our different classes and the way we structure our majors to find that perfect college experience and your academic experience down the road. When looking at all of the different University of Minnesota campuses, I like to think that Duluth is like the Goldilocks campus. So we're kind of that perfect size. We're not too big, we're not too small, we're kind of right down the middle, right? So you're going to get all of those benefits of what a medium-sized campus has to offer, like some of those benefits from a larger campus, like access to internships or research, really having a lot of different student clubs and organizations and having that energy that goes with being on a larger campus, but also being kind of intimate and small and having a lot of those opportunities actually available to you as a student. And so having access to that is really important, so that you can actually have those internships. Not that they're just available, but that when you apply, you have an actual chance to get them. And maybe a graduate student or a doctorate student isn't beating you out for it. We do have a lot of graduate and doctorate programs here at UMD, but overwhelmingly our student body is made up of our undergraduate students. We have a student body of about 11,000 students here. 9,000 of that are undergraduate students, just like yourselves, going for that bachelor degree in whatever area of interest you have. There's a lot of great ways to get involved on campus as well. So this is kind of one of my more favorite parts to talk about, is like the college experience, right? Like, we know where we're going to go. We know the academics we're going to study. We're going to figure out our housing situation and our meals, but like now what, right? Like, now what are we doing? That's getting involved and meeting people through our different student clubs and organizations or through athletics. So we have over 270 different student organizations on our campus, everything from Greek life to religious organizations to our student association and student government, as well as kind of more smaller niche groups like the Lettuce Club. Yes, you heard me right, the Lettuce Club. This is a group of students that gets together. It's not a group, it's a pretty large group. They get together around finals and have this kind of finals relief night to get together and have a competitive lettuce eating competition. And whoever wins this competition is then crowned the head of Lettuce Club. So kind of a fun, meme kind of group, but they have a really good time. So a lot of different ways to get involved and meet different people on our campus. And it's really easy to apply. You can apply to us if you're a senior. Our application is open right now. You can apply either on our website or on our Common App. We are test optional, so you don't need to submit your ACT scores if you don't want to, but we do still look at those for scholarship consideration. So to be eligible for scholarships in general, make sure to send in your application and apply to us before December 15th of this year, and we'll get you some free money to come and have your experience here in Duluth. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our presenters here today. We have some time for some Q&A, so I'll go ahead and ask everyone to come back on screen and we'll have some time for some questions. I'll put our first question up on the screen here. It is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? All right, we'll go in the same order. So we'll start with Anoka Ramsey Community College.
All right, so the advice I would give is to not limit yourself and maybe set a goal of checking out at least 3 to 5 different colleges and universities from a variety of types: community college, public, in-state, out-of-state, private, even maybe out of country, and check out even if you think you might not attend that university or college.
I think my advice would be to really utilize your resources. I think when I was looking at colleges, I didn't really think to reach out to admissions counselors and like ask them all my questions, especially if I was kind of self-conscious about them. But our jobs are literally to serve you. So if you're confused by something or you just really want to know more, can either answer those questions or send you to the departments that are institutions that can help you. So if you're interested in any of our schools or whatever college you're looking at, just reach out to the admissions counselors and we're more than happy to help you.
Same. We're here to help, but we can only help if you ask or reach out to us. We can't read minds. Also, like I said in my presentation, come visit campus, come visit in person. The internet and Google can give you a lot of research and find out a lot of things about college, but it's not the same. You got to come take a tour, check out the dorms, eat the food, see what it's like in person for yourself.
Definitely ask those questions. Get a feel for the campus, whether it's in person or online, whatever you're able to do, and take notes and use those notes and compare those notes. And because sometimes you can read information, but if you can take down notes about how you felt about the campus and about the people you spoke with and the help that you got when you reached out and asked those questions, those notes are important. So take notes. Kind of a dork that way.
As well as echoing everything everyone has said, I think the biggest thing is that there is no wrong decision, right? Like if you put in the work of discovering what college options there are for you out there, and if you go and visit them, and if you kind of put in the time to really get to know what that college experience could look like for you as an option, no matter what you end up choosing, no matter what you end up choosing, it's going to be the right decision. You're not going to make a mistake. So don't be too hard on yourself. It can seem like the admissions process is really intense, but honestly, we want you to come to our university just as much as you want to come here. There's this whole kind of like mythological college admissions, like I have to prove myself, and really just be yourself, show us what program you're wanting to go into and how you can be successful in that program and what you're looking forward to in college. And that's what makes admissions decisions. We're not comparing you to anybody else. So don't be too hard on yourself. Feel confident in your decisions. You're not going to make the wrong choice.
That's great. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate all of that advice. It's so valuable for all of our students going through this process. Like you're saying, to be organized, trust yourself, visit campus, and just utilize your resources. Everyone here today, you have their contact information in the chat, so definitely use your resources. Everyone is here to help. All right, we have time for a few more questions. So our next question is, what is one thing you want students to remember about your school? So another opportunity, you get to plug something fun or interesting. So what's one thing you want students to remember?
Sure. So as I mentioned, as a community college, we're an open door institution. Great place to get started before transferring to a university. Maybe going part-time, switching between full-time and part-time if you're juggling some life priorities, work, family activities, things like that. So it's a great place to get everything balanced out and figure things out on the college side.
I guess something that I'd want you to remember about Montana State is we're a very community-oriented place, whether that's like the communities that you make with other students or within the city of Bozeman in general, but also the research we do. A huge focus of that is giving back to the communities we come from. So whatever you study at MSU, we want to equip you to serve whatever community you continue to be a part of after school. So that's a really big theme for us for sure.
Again, similar answer. We're the second smallest four-year college in Minnesota, so our size is quite small, but don't let that decide or not decide on a college for you. At Bethany, professors become your friends or even like your second family. You get to know everybody very well, and I think that really maybe is a little bit different for some students, especially if they come from big high schools, but once they get comfortable with that or wrap their head around it, they realize what a big advantage that is, that you have one-on-one personal relationships with the professors that are there to teach and help you.
Yeah, I think for the University of Winnipeg, I would say as an alumni as well, that having that close connection with professors as well, the smaller class sizes, and just a vibrant campus with a lot of activity and opportunity to participate in research and different events as well. So.
I think that, one thing to remember about University of Minnesota Duluth is the Duluth part and the University of Minnesota part, right? Like being a part of that system and history, but also having kind of that like perfect balance of like not too big, not too small. You're going to have professors and people that care about you, but you're also going to have a lot of opportunities and different, ways to research or get to meet people and student clubs and organizations and that energy that goes along with that too. And having been a student here myself and now an alumni and working here at admissions, I'm really passionate about it. Our students are really passionate about it. So it's just a great place to be, not only just on campus, but in the community as well.
Fantastic. Thank you everyone for sharing. We have time for one last question, I believe. So our last question of the evening is, what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process? That myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process.
All right, so I'll jump in and say that we as admissions, or for myself too, and I'm sure everyone else as admissions advisors, we are not here to judge what's happened maybe during high school or your previous schooling. We meet you where you're at and we work with you where you're at. So I know it might feel kind of nerve-wracking and like a lot is happening when you press that submit button on the application, but we're here to meet you where you applied with that information and help you through the process.
Yeah, I would say that the myth I'd debunk is that you have to have it all figured out. I remember when I was like in high school applying to college, feeling like I need to know what I want to do with my life, thus what I wanted to study, like exactly where I wanted to go, have all the money figured out, like all those things. I think that pressure is really intense. So I would say to like, it's okay if you aren't sure what college you want to go to, if you don't know what you want to study. Like we have a great program for undeclared students to help you like find a major. You don't have to plan your whole life at 16 to 18. So give yourself some grace as you're exploring, for sure.
The myth that I run into the most is cost. I'm the only private college, or I represent the only private college in here tonight. Our starting cost is much higher than what you would see at like a public university. Our starting cost is right around $37,000 a year for tuition and room and board, but the average amount that students actually pay is in the teens. 16,400 is the magical calculation for our average amount. So don't let costs scare you away. Apply for the FAFSA. We do have a test optional policy. I think some other folks mentioned that as well. We encourage you to take the ACT because it can actually help improve your financial aid. It can improve your scholarship way more than students realize. All the time, I have students that tell me, oh, I think I'm going to apply test optional. My ACT was kind of low. It's not very good. My friends all have higher scores. And then I say, well, what did you actually get? Oh, I got a 22. Oh, 22. Well, did you know that you can actually get a $10,000 a year academic scholarship at Bethany with a 22? And then they look at me like, what? No, I didn't know that. So we have test optional. It's great for some students, not great for everybody though. We want you to get as much financial aid. Don't limit yourself on financial aid.
I would like to debunk the myth that applying is difficult. It is just an online application. And if you make a mistake, you can email us and we'll fix it for you. It's not an automatic, you're out of our system if you make an error. And also, yes, I would agree with my previous speakers here that you don't have to have it all figured out. In fact, most adults don't have life figured out. So university is a time to explore.
If you didn't all know, all of us speaking today are featured in the new season of Mythbusters. So I just wanted to let you know, it's going to be the first episode on college admissions. So no, I want to echo what everyone has said. And I think that this goes along with, we're not a bunch of suits, sitting behind a mythical door with our, clipboards and like a projector being like, oh, this is the best student. Oh, not this person. That just doesn't happen. We're people, you're people. We want you to come to our campuses. We want to help you in the process too. You are not alone in this, in finding what is the best choice, in talking about financial aid. Like, ask for more scholarship, right? Like, ask those questions, advocate for yourself. Don't feel like you're a bother. Don't feel like, you know, like, oh, not me, because now you're giving yourself like the third person bias or something, you know, like really advocate for yourself, ask questions. And at the end of the day, when you make a decision, it's going to be the right one because you're the one that made it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to all of our schools tonight. This discussion has been absolutely phenomenal. And thank you all for being here with us tonight. Thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. So we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And we encourage you to check back to our schedule. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/Minnesota. That's strivescan.com/Minnesota. Thank you so much and have a great evening.